Now I want to show you how to use Solver to calculate a couple of things. The first will be the amount I have to save from every paycheck to make my desired legacy equal my actual legacy. And the legacy is basically just the amount that I'd like to leave to various entities. So I have that entered, the amount that I'd like to leave is entered on my inputs page. So that's here, and cell A30 on the inputs tab I've called total legacy. On my calculations tab, basically what I want to know is the percent that I have to save so that this base case column, the last number on it will be equal to the total legacy. And that's going to change depending on what my clients enter and how long they live and how much they'd like to leave to various entities. So I actually have to look up what this value is, and I do that up here with this index function. So the index function essentially looks at this entire range, and it finds, using the match function, the age at which I expect to die, and then it goes over and pulls the value that matches that row and column. So y'all should become very familiar with the index and match functions, and also index and count functions. But that's what this particular section of my spreadsheet is doing. It's just looking in this highlighted blue area and finding basically the last row that has data in it, because that's the row where I will die, or the client will die. I don't want to say I will die. It's too depressing. So um, the next thing I did was take the total legacy, and that's just a named range. It's come straight off my inputs page, and I subtract essentially how much I will have. Well, I'll subtract whatever the last value is in my base case column. That's what's again being looked up with this index combo match function. Because what I want is these two numbers to be equal. I want what I desire to leave as a legacy equal to whatever the last value in this base case column is, because that is how much money that remains upon the person's death. And if these two values are equal, then subtracting them from one another will give me a value of 0. Well, right now they're not equal. I expect to have 1.575 million, and I desire to leave a legacy of 1.56 million, which is awfully close. So the difference is about $15,000. But basically, I want to solve for the rate that I need to save from each paycheck that is going to make this value equal to 0. Now I need to find my savings rate. Well, that number is located right here. So, and I know it's in a weird place. It was something I added as an afterthought when I was designing this. It may look like my rate is actually here in this cell, because when I move this slider bar, this rate changes, but that is not true. This box right here is just a text box, and I have linked it to the value on the calculations table. But this slider bar is not driving directly this box. It's actually driving this cell right here. And the solver function is going to be hinging on this cell value as well. So again, this orange cell represents the percentage that I'm saving from every paycheck. And I would like to know how large this needs to be so that my desired legacy will equal my actual legacy. And that is what is being calculated right here in cell O3. Again, I want cell O3 to be 0. If O3 is 0, it means my desired legacy equals my actual legacy. So how do we do that? Um, First, I need to activate Solver. Now, my Solver is already turned on, but I'm going to show you how to do it again in case it's not on whatever machine you're using. To do that, go to File, Options, Add-ins, and down here, uh, there's a Go button. Press that, and just make sure the Solver add-in is checked. If it's not checked, check it and press OK. If it is checked, you can just check or press Cancel like I am doing.